Training on Public Service Documentation. Activity 1. Public Service Models in Literature. The GEA Public Service Model. The structure of this presentation is as follows. First, work on public service models will be presented, and then governance enterprise architecture service model will be presented. A few public service models have been proposed in literature. However, at this point there is not a globally accepted model for public services. The University of Macedonia in Greece is conducting research in this area for the last 7 years under the general term Governance Enterprise Architecture (GEA) service model. GEA is a set of mature models to understand and analyze public service provision and policy formulation. The GEA family of models also includes a public service model. The GEA model comprises of societal entities, for example, citizens and businesses, who have needs related to specific goals. A societal entity requests a public administration service to serve its goals. So PA services are categorized in several domains, for example, health or transportation. And each domain is divided into several subdomains, for example, transportation to air transportation. There are several types of societal entities, for example, legal entities or physical persons. A societal entity has a profile. There are two categories of governance entities participating in service provision. These are political entities and PA entities. Regarding the PA entities, there are 3 roles that can acquire during the service execution phase, namely service provider, evidence provider, and consequence receiver. A service provider is the PA entity that provides the service to the societal entities. The PA entities belong to a particular administrative level, for example, municipal or regional. An evidence provider is the PA entity that provides necessary evidence to the service provider in order to execute the PA service. And the consequence receiver is the PA entity that should be informed about the PA service execution. Political entities define PA services. PA entities, through the role of service provider, offer the services. PA services are governed by preconditions usually specified in legal acts. Preconditions set the general framework in which the service should be performed, as well as the underlying business rules that should be fulfilled for the successful execution of the PA service. Preconditions can be formally expressed as a set of clauses. Preconditions are validated by a piece of evidence serving a purpose. As evidence is pure information, it is stored in evidence placeholder. Thus, the evidence placeholder contains pieces of evidences. Specific evidence can be found in numerous different evidence placeholders. For example, a citizen's aids serving as a piece of evidence for a service that sets aids limitations in its preconditions can be contained in the ID card, the passport, or the birth certificate. They are considered as alternative evidence placeholders. There are many cases where the evidence placeholders are provided by PA entities. The direct relationship between PA service and evidence placeholder depicts cases where PA services preferably use specific types of evidence placeholders. For example, when the law explicitly states that a birth certificate is needed for the execution of a particular service. The outcome, which is another element of the GEA service model, refers to the different types of results a PA service may have. GEA defines 3 types of outcome: output, effect, and consequence. Output is the documented decision of the service provider regarding the service asked by the societal entity. This documented decision is currently embedded and reaches the client in the form of an administrative document or a decision. The effect regards the case when the execution of a service may result in a change in the state of the world, for example, transferring money to an account. In the PA domain, the service effect is the actual permission, certificate, restriction or punishment in the citizen is finally entitled to. In cases where administration refuses the provision of a service, there is no effect. There are three types of effects expected from the execution of PA services. These have been identified to be the following. Safeguard the social contract, meaning to maintain the peaceful coexistence among the members of a society. Promote sustainable development, meaning providing the macroeconomic development taking into account sustainability concepts. And provide for social welfare, meaning enhancing social cohesion by coping with exclusion and poverty. Consequence is information about the executed PA service that needs to be forwarded to interested parties. Such an example is the following. In Greece, someone can adopt a child through a service provided by the prefecture of the foster parents' residence. The municipalities where two foster parents were born will then have to be informed about the event in order to update their population registries. This is the consequence of the adoption service. Here you can schematically see the GEA service model and all its elements as well as their interactions. Thank you for viewing this presentation.